Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Iran's President Ebrahim Raisi and Foreign Minister Amir Abdullahian die in a helicopter crash. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi condoles the deaths, says India stands with Iran in its time of sorrow. Polling underway for 49 seats across 6 states and 2 union territories in India's parliamentary election. And in football, Manchester City beats West Ham United to win an unprecedented 4th straight Premier League title. First up, the big news we are tracking here on DD India Live. Iran's President Ebrahim Raisi and his Foreign Minister Amir Abdullahian have died in a helicopter crash. Iran's Vice President for Executive Affairs Mohsen Mansouri confirmed the death of President Raisi in a social media post. The charred wreckage of the helicopter, which crashed on Sunday, carrying Raisi and Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdullahian, was found early on Monday after an overnight search in blizzard conditions. 2 other leaders were also among the dead. Iran's Vice President Mohammad Mokhber has become the country's interim president for now. A council consisting of the first Vice President, the Speaker of Parliament, and the head of the judiciary will now arrange an election for a new president within a maximum period of 50 days. Raisi was elected president in 2021. Since taking office, he had tightened the country's morality laws, overseen a bloody crackdown on anti-government protests, and pushed hard in nuclear talks with world powers. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who holds ultimate power with a final say on foreign policy and Iran's nuclear program, has reassured Iranians that the affairs of the state will not be disrupted. World leaders have condoled the death of Iran's President Ebrahim Raisi. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi said in a social media post, and I quote, "Deeply saddened and shocked by the tragic demise of Dr. Syed Ebrahim Raisi, President of the Islamic Republic of Iran. His contribution to strengthening India-Iran bilateral relationship will always be remembered. My heartfelt condolences to his family and the people of Iran. India stands with Iran in this time of sorrow," unquote. And Iraq's Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani has expressed his heartfelt condolences. In a statement, he expressed support for the Iranian people and leaders following the tragic incident. Qatar's Emir Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani expressed his condolences to the Iranian government and people. Sincere condolences, says the Emir of Qatar. Lai Ching-te takes office as Taiwan's new president on Monday amid tensions with China. Lai won the presidential election in January to succeed the incumbent Tsai Ing-wen, who has served 2 consecutive 4-year terms. They both belong to the Democratic Progressive Party. Lai's inauguration will mark the first time the DPP will assume a 3rd straight presidency after Tsai Ing-wen completed her 2 terms since 2016. Lai, who previously served as a mayor of Tainan, has pledged to continue bolstering the island's national defense, its economy and cooperation with democratic allies. He also said that he would maintain deterrence and uphold the cross-strait status quo. Lai said that he would form a new government staffed by individuals based on their capabilities rather than party affiliation.
The future of Taiwan Strait plays a decisive role to the future of the world and as the people who takes over the democratic progress of Taiwan. The new government will steer peace and maintain status quo, being neither overbearing nor self-effacing. I also want to call on China to stop threatening Taiwan politically and militarily, take on global responsibility of maintaining peace and stability to ensure the world is free from the fear of war.
The Dominican Republic's incumbent President Luis Abinader soared to victory in the election with a wide margin to clinch a second term. Abinader thanked his supporters on Sunday night local time after preliminary election results showed a decisive victory without the need for a second round. Abinader said that his rival Leonel Fernandez called to recognize his election victory. With about 56% of voting centers reporting, Abinader held 58.85% of the vote, followed by three-time former President Leonel Fernandez with 27.29%. Presidents in the Dominican Republic are restricted to 2 terms of 4 years, although previous reforms have extended the presidential mandate. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachand of Nepal will seek a vote of confidence from the country's lawmakers on Monday. According to Article 102 of the Constitution of Nepal, the Prime Minister should table a motion for vote of confidence within 30 days if a political party in a coalition government withdraws its support to the Prime Minister. Prachand was made to seek a trust vote after the Upendra Yadav-led Janta Samajwadi Party Nepal withdrew support on 13th May after a split in the party. It's the 4th time that Prachand, who became the Prime Minister on 25th December 2022, has to undertake a floor test. The present coalition government needs the support of 138 lawmakers to secure the vote of confidence. London's High Court will hold a hearing on Monday to consider fresh assurances given by the United States that WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange will be able to rely on the First Amendment protections for freedom of speech and will not face the death penalty if extradited from the UK to the US. The hearing will determine if Assange is being deported to the US or if he can have an appeal in the UK. Assange is wanted by the US prosecutors on 18 charges, all bar one, under the Espionage Act over WikiLeaks' release of thousands of confidential US military records and secret diplomatic cables. And going back to the top story on DD India Live now, Iran's President Ebrahim Raisi and his Foreign Minister Amir Abdullahian have died in a helicopter crash. Iran's Vice President for Executive Affairs Mohsen Mansouri confirmed the death of President Raisi in a social media post. And my colleague Amritpal Singh joins us on the phone line for more. Amrit, what more can you tell us about the helicopter crash that killed Iran's president?
Ramesh, now it's very clear that, this helicopter crashed and it took about, now it's been officially confirmed by Iran that all passengers, which were basically President Raisi, the Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdullahian, the governor of the East Azerbaijan province of Iran, and also the Friday prayers Imam of the Tabriz Mosque, along with other security officials, and 9 people in total were killed in that crash. There were 3 helicopters in the entourage. 2 survived, 1 crashed, and in which unfortunately the president and his foreign minister and other 7 passengers were there, and that crashed and it was killed. They were killed. and it took about 18 hours for the rescue teams to locate the exact site of the wreckage and then identify that these people had been killed.
All right, we will leave it at that. Amrit, thank you. That was Amrit Pal Singh on the phone line from New Delhi. Right, now take a look at what else is making news around the world. South Korea and the United Kingdom to co-host the second Global AI Summit in Seoul this week. UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and South Korea's President Yoon Suk-yeol will oversee a virtual summit on Tuesday. The summit will focus on the call of better regulation of artificial intelligence. Meetings beginning Tuesday are now billed as the AI Seoul Summit. Spain recalled its ambassador from Argentina on Sunday after Argentina's President Javier Milei made derogatory comments about Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez's wife during a far-right rally in Madrid. Other ministers also condemned Milei's speech, in which he described socialism as quote-unquote cursed. In the U.S. state of Texas, residents of Houston City received some good news as officials said power was restored on Sunday to a majority of the hundreds of thousands who had been left in the dark and without air conditioning during hot and humid weather. The widespread destruction of Thursday's storms left at least 7 dead and brought much of Houston to a standstill. And still to come on DD India Live. We get you the latest on the 5th phase of polling in India's parliamentary election. Gopi Totakura becomes the first Indian space tourist and the second Indian ever to venture into space. And Alexander Zverev beats Nicolas Jarry to clinch the Italian Open.
We are in Cannes, the famous city on the French Riviera. The 77th edition of the Cannes Film Festival is here. So soak into 12 days of world cinema and the hottest fashion trends. The famous 24 steps leading to the Palais des Festivals, where most of the cinema at this festival is screened, are beckoning. Join me, Munmun Bhattacharya, as I take you through all the buzz around the festival and on India's participation in it, only on DD India.
We just don't bring you the news as it unfolds. We get to the heart of the matter.
We don't just present facts. We demystify complex social, political and economic events.
We break stories that shape the world's present and future because you deserve the truth.
I am Tanvi Taneja from New Delhi.
I'm Ollie Barrett from London.
I'm Nick Harper from Washington, D.C.
Join us on DD India Global Monday to Friday at these times.
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. Let's get you now the latest on the world's largest elections in India. Polling is on for Phase 5 of India's parliamentary election, covering 49 seats across 6 states and 2 union territories. Voting is underway on 14 seats of Uttar Pradesh, 13 seats of Maharashtra, 7 seats of West Bengal, 5 seats each of Odisha and Bihar, 3 seats of Jharkhand and 1 seat each in Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. More than 947,000 officials are deployed across 94,732 polling stations. The last 4 phases of election have covered 379 parliamentary constituencies of 23 states and union territories. An average voter turnout of 66.95% had been recorded. Polling is also being held for 35 assembly constituencies of Odisha. People from all walks of life stepped out early in the morning to exercise their franchise. The BJP candidate from Amethi, Smriti Irani, cast her vote at a polling station in Amethi for the very first time. The Congress has fielded KL Sharma from this seat. LJP Ramvilas chief and Hajipur candidate Chirag Paswan cast his vote in Patna. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh cast his vote in Lucknow. He is a sitting lawmaker from Lucknow. The Samajwadi Party has fielded Ravidas Mehrotra from this seat. A minister in the Indian government, Sadhvi Niranjan Jyoti, cast her vote in Hamirpur. Niranjan Jyoti is looking to score a hat-trick on the seat. She is contesting against Samajwadi Party's Naresh Uttam Patel. Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde cast his vote at a polling station in Thane. Bollywood actor Govinda cast his vote in Mumbai. Veteran actor Dharmendra cast his vote in Mumbai as well. A lawmaker and actor Hema Malini and her daughter Isha Deol cast their votes in Mumbai city. Also, singer Kailash Kher cast his vote in Mumbai. Polling is also underway in the Baramulla constituency of Jammu and Kashmir amid stepped-up security arrangements. Unique polling booths have been set up there, including 18 polling booths managed by women, which are also called pink polling stations, 17 polling booths manned by persons with disabilities and 18 by youths. All right, joining me are my colleagues covering the elections from the ground. With me are Tapas Bhattacharya in Lucknow, Ashutosh Mishra in Bhubaneswar and Anibrata Bhattacharya in Kolkata. If I can start with you, Tapas, how's the voter response been in Lucknow so far? Talk to us a bit, if you will, about what you saw and heard since early morning.
Right, so let me put it this way, that till 11 o'clock, 27.76% of voting has taken place in the whole of Uttar Pradesh. In the whole, if you take a average of the constituencies, 14 parliamentary constituency, but in Lucknow, it is less than the average. It is approximately right now I can tell you it is less than 22, just over 22 in fact, 22 point some percent. What I can tell you is that it's quite hot, it's quite sultry, and it's very difficult to go out and historically we have seen that Lucknow, as per in the whole of the 14 Lok Sabha constituencies, has traditionally been somewhere it doesn't vote that much as it generally does. But again, in the morning we saw a lot of elderly people coming up, and actually that was quite heartening, considering the fact that they're past they're 70-year-old, 75-year-old, and when we spoke to them, they said that it is imperative for them to come so early, because once the sun when it's 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock, the sun will be right at the top, and it will be very difficult for them to venture out in such hot and humid condition. So that is one part of it. The other part is that just a while back, around 10:30, Union Minister, he's a sitting MP from Lucknow, he also came here, and we saw how he was confident about his victory. The other aspect of this is that as I mentioned earlier, that the 14 parliamentary constituency that will go in that is currently going to the polls, and the voting is currently taking place, has been what you call BJP's pocket boroughs. And apart from the two seats seats that are very crucial. The one we spoke earlier about Amethi and Raebareli. Even though last time around BJP won the Amethi seat, in fact, out of the 14 seats, they won 13 seats in 2019. So it will be interesting to see whether they can match the same sort of facts and the numbers. Because again, as we mentioned, the fact that from here onwards, the phase 5th, 6th, and 7th will see almost 41 the parliamentary constituency, and if BJP has to go past the 400, I mean they have to pass the 400 mark. It is imperative for them to secure as many votes as possible.
Tapas from Lucknow, let me now go across to my colleague in Kolkata, Anibroto Bhattacharya. Anibroto, what's the latest information on the polling in the seats going to the polls in West Bengal?
Yeah, exactly. Ramesh, barring stray incidents in different pockets in the 7 Lok Sabha constituencies in 3 districts of West Bengal, polling is largely peaceful, and it's quite striking, because in the last several years we didn't see such a peaceful poll, and what is largely been happening this time, and it is I am mentioning this thing once more. It's because the 7 Lok Sabha constituencies where the polling is held today, the 59.9% of the polling stations have been earmarked as a super sensitive booths, but and the heavy deployment of the central forces were all there. Yet what we find that the barring few stray incidents in different pockets, polling is largely peaceful, and the last 5 hours, voters turnout, almost 40%. And what we could say that as the Met Office predicted that thunder shower and the several pockets in the 7 Lok Sabha constituencies are receiving rainfall. So voters joined in the line early morning. It is because so that they could cast their vote the earliest. And this thing happened. What we find now in the last 5 hours, voters turnout surpassed 40%.
All right. From Kolkata, let me now turn to Bhubaneswar, where my colleague Ashutosh Mishra is standing by. Ashutosh, what more can you tell us about the polling in Odisha for the assembly and parliamentary elections?
Yes, polling is taking place across 5 Lok Sabha and 35 assembly constituencies in the state, which is witnessing simultaneous polls to the Lok Sabha and the state assembly. By now, around 22% polling has taken place in almost all the constituencies. And this is encouraging, considering that some of these constituencies have inaccessible places and they are moist infested areas where there is heavy deployment of central forces. But despite all this, people turned up at the polling booths enthusiastically to vote. So conditions are very humid, very hot, but people are voting. And in these constituencies, especially 5 Lok Sabha constituencies, some very important people, some very important leaders, their fate is going to be decided. For example, in Sundargarh Lok Sabha constituency, former Union Minister Jewel Oram's fate will be sealed today in the EVMs. Contesting against him is Hockey India chairperson and former India hockey captain Dilip Tirki. Similarly, in Bolangir, 4-time BJP MP Sangeeta Singh Dev is contesting against BJD candidate Mr. Bhoi. He is also an important leader. In Kandhamal, you have educationist Mr. Achyut Samant contesting against the BJP candidate. As far as state assembly seats are concerned, Chief Minister's seat in Kantabanji in Bolangir district is perhaps the most important seat going to the witnessing.
All right, we leave it there. Ashutosh Mishra in Bhubaneswar, Anibroto Bhattacharya in Kolkata, and Tapas Bhattacharya in Lucknow. Thank you all for now. Appreciate it. And in an exclusive interview to DD News, Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke on a variety of topics after Jagannath Darshan at Puri, a city in eastern part of India. PM Modi said the Constitution has been the guiding light for him to run the government. The Prime Minister said he has been celebrating the Indian Constitution for a very long time.
मैं डॉक्टर बाबा साहब आम्बेडकर का, मैं संविधान सभा का, उस समय सभी महापुरुषों का सर झुका करके प्रणाम करता हूं कि उन्होंने देश को ऐसा संविधान दिया कि एक चाय वाले का बेटा एक गरीब माँ का बेटा। और मेरे देश के लोकतंत्र की ताकत देखिए कि उसने उसे प्रधानमंत्री बना दिया। मेरे लिए तो संविधान शासन चलाने का सबसे बड़ा धर्म ग्रंथ है। मेरे लिए एक राजनेता के रूप में, एक पॉलिटिकल लीडर के रूप में, एक जनप्रतिनिधि के रूप में संविधान मेरा मार्गदर्शक है और मैं उसका पुजारी हूं। और ये पूजा मैं आज से नहीं कर रहा हूं। जब संविधान के 60 साल हुए थे तो मैं पहला व्यक्ति था देश में जिसने हाथी पर संविधान रखा और संविधान की यात्रा निकाली, और मोदी सीएम था, पैदल चल रहा था।
Gopi Thotakura has become the first Indian space tourist and the second Indian ever to venture into space as a tourist. Thotakura was selected as one of the 6 crew members for the mission, making him the first Indian space tourist after Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma of the Indian Air Force in 1984. In sports news, Manchester City won an unprecedented 4th straight English top flight title with a 3-1 win over West Ham United on Sunday. City, which has now won 6 titles in 7 years, stands alone as the only English team to have won 4 straight top flight titles. Alexander Zverev warmed up for the French Open by winning his 6th Masters title. Zverev beat first-time finalist Nicolas Jarry 6-4, 7-5 in the Italian Open final on Sunday. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of DD India Live. Let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can connect with us on Facebook, X and Instagram. You can also check out our website ddindia.co.in. We will be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran from all of us here in New Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.